What do you look for in an education? The chance to learn the things you need to know, or just a nice-looking report card? According to the 14th Amendment, every child has the right to an equal education regardless of race, ethnicity, and background. Yet some students receive a better education than others. Why is that? Budget cuts are often made, which takes money away from public schools. These budget cuts make it difficult to teach students. These budget cuts are made in order to fund other projects. When money is taken away from public schools, it takes away their ability to afford proper resources and therefore makes it difficult to educate students. This means less books, less paper, less pencils, and less of everything. Students need to engage in certain ways in order to learn what they will need for the rest of their lives. According to Education Week, a budget cut of $1,000 lowers the test scores of students by about 1.6% and lowers their chances of getting into college by 2.6% on average. This might not sound like a lot, but keep in mind that if $5,000 were to be cut, test scores would lower by an average of 8%, and chances of getting into college would be reduced by 13%. And that's a lot. Now, why would anyone take money away from public schools? Well, the unfortunate truth is that money is needed for just about everything. Nothing is free. The U.S. Department of Education receives money from the federal government to fund schools. However, some districts may not have enough money to pay for things like damaged roads or preserving public property. With little to no money to pay for these things, state governments take money out of the funding for public schools in order to do so. Now, budget cuts don't affect every school equally. Some have it worse than others. Take James K. Polk Elementary School in Virginia, for example. According to some students, many teachers use their own money to pay for school supplies because the school cannot provide them with what they need. According to a review by this parent, the school does not do much to teach students or communicate with parents. Here is what the Superintendent of Alexandria City Public Schools has to say about students' education.
I mean, all of these opportunities that we offer are just unbelievable. And that's what truly makes us unique. We still have some room to grow, and I don't think that we're providing everything for every student at this point. All students are different. I think we should strive to be able to provide multiple pathways that students could explore a particular area or career path and then choose to do something different. So I really do believe that it's important for us to have multiple educational opportunities versus everyone having all the same. And the more we give our students opportunities, it's making our students more equipped to be able to make those decisions as regards to what their destiny and their lives will look like.
Some schools are not affected by budget cuts, but others are. According to rating funds on greatschools.org, students at Freedom High School located in Virginia and to have lower test scores are not prepared for college. Compare this to the ratings of Thomas Jefferson High School, just a few miles away from Freedom High School. It has test scores and college readiness of students that exceed the state average, also found on greatschools.org. Thomas Jefferson ratings are higher than Freedom by 75%. This shows us that there is a major imbalance in the education that is being given to students. Some students have access to better resources than others, and therefore a better education. Let's look at what some students have to say about this.
Yes, I do believe I'm receiving a fair education. No discrimination of race, color, or sex.
No, I'd rather go to a private school. I just hate this school and they're just poor. I just rather go to a private school, honestly. They're doing a terrible job.
So a number of students aren't receiving a proper education. That doesn't mean that they can't pass their classes. This would be a good argument if good grades were the only concern. However, it is not. The problem is that students will not be prepared for life beyond public education without the right mind and skill sets. The purpose of public education is to prepare students for the rest of their lives. If children are not able to have that preparation, then the next generation may be in danger of failing to make the world a better place.
And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you'll need an education to do it. You've got to train for it and work for it and learn for it. This isn't just important for your own life and your own future. What you make of your education will decide nothing less than the future of this country. What you're learning in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future.
Throughout all the Vincent years, the court had knocked down some school arrangements, in his case for graduate schools, by finding that the separate facilities provided were equal only in fiction.
So we know now why education as a whole is important, but why is it important for everyone to receive an education? The real question is why it would be fair to deny education to some children and not others. Each student deserves an equal chance. It would not be fair to deny equity among students and equal education for all.